What's going on, everyone? Lalit here. I got my first credit card at the age of 18, and now I have over 30 credit cards. I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and I want to put that knowledge into this video to answer the question, what are the best first credit cards to get if you have no credit history? We'll be going over the different options of credit cards, as well as my favorite choice of credit card to get if you have no history. And finally, as we go out through this process, you'll be well equipped with the knowledge of what to look at, not just for these credit cards, regarding things to look out for like annual fees, APRs, etc., but that same knowledge you can apply for any future credit cards you'll get going forward. So with that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Lalit again. I love everything personal finance, from stocks, credit, crypto, etc., and also love to beatbox. But with that, I'll see you on the other side. So first, we have the Discover It secured card. There's no annual fee. It's a real credit card. Unlike a prepaid or debit card, this is a real credit card that lets you build your credit history with the three major credit bureaus. Why is this important? The three major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, the point here is with them reporting to those three bureaus, in the future when you apply to future credit cards, certain credit card issuers may not actually ask about your credit score to all of these three bureaus, but maybe just one of them. And so with them reporting to all these three, your credit score will be intact in all three bureaus, and then you'll have higher chances of approval in the future. Then you have a refundable deposit. So because it's a secured card versus an unsecured card, the primary difference is that a secured card is basically that you have a deposit with the actual lender slash bank. And so, for example, the minimum deposit for a Discover It secured card is $200. That $200 is that secured line of credit that you have, aka if you're $200 in the hole and you don't pay it back, Discover knows that they'll have that money up to $200, and they'll also give you that secured line of credit up to $200. So this way, it's a win-win, because without any credit history, how do they trust you, and vice versa? And further, this card is great for those folks that are trying to build up their credit as well, aka if it was tarnished or just in a bad state in general, this is an opportunity for them to bring it back and prove to just all three bureaus and credit in general that they're credit worthy for the future. So then you have earn 2% cash back. So at gas stations and restaurants, up to $1,000 in purchases each quarter. So every year you're talking around $4,000 in spend for 2% cash back. So around $80 on a card that has no annual fee, and it's for a card with no credit. I think that's pretty dang cool. And you get 1% unlimited cash back everywhere else automatically. You have unlimited cash back, as well as here, FICO credit score for free. This is important because the FICO credit score versus what you may see on Credit Karma, for example. The Credit Karma score you see is based off of public records, and that score is called a Vantage 3.0 score. It's another way of calculating someone's credit score, but in this case, this FICO credit score is the gold standard of today at least, and that's more important, and that will give you more of where your credit stands and what that means for potential future applications as well. So these are the things I'm looking at the Discover It secured card, and I usually look at what are the highlights of every other card in general, whether that's a first card, a fifth card, a 10th card, etc. And so I'll scroll down and see there's some FAQs. I'll leave the links in the description, so do check it out if you want. And as I scroll down, you can apply and provide a deposit, build your credit responsibly, and convert to an unsecured card. So here's how it works. You apply and provide a deposit, and then you build your credit responsibly, so pay your bill on time to avoid interest charges, pay your balance in full each month. That goes without saying. And finally, you'll go to convert to an unsecured card. How Discover works specifically is that after 7 monthly billing cycles of good standing, essentially paying on time appropriately, the next step is that you can graduate to an unsecured credit card with Discover. As I scroll down, you have no annual fee, and over here you have 22.9% APR, which you should never pay any interest in general. It's just not a good practice. Credit cards can be used for emergencies, and that's understandable time to time when it happens, but generally speaking, it's not a good way to pay any more than you would have rather spent paying in cash, in full, etc. So here we are with the Discover It unsecured credit card, also known as the Discover It cashback credit card. So you earn cash back, and we match it all your first year. So this cashback match is one of the most famous kind of unique elements of Discover as a company for this particular product slash credit card. And so you'll be getting whatever cashback you earn, but they'll double it after 1 year of holding the card. And so no annual fee with this card, and you have a low intro APR, 0% for 14 months. The 0% for 14 months, what it means is there's no interest tacked onto your purchases immediately or anything in general within your account, apart from cash advances, which we won't talk in this topic right now, but The point being 0% for 14 months, there's no interest tacked onto your purchases. So after 14 months, the interest does start. But this is a slippery slope for individuals that may not have a discipline or have a spending problem where they keep spending where there's no interest and you just keep racking it up. And 14 months later, lo and behold, there's this huge balance and now you have to pay for it, or else the interest has started to tack on in that 14th afterwards month. And that's not a joke. So why Discover It Cashback? So Discover It Cashback in general is a sister card of the Chase Freedom Flex, where there are these rotating categories at 5% for certain categories throughout the year, and they switch every quarter. So 5% rotating categories, quarters like Amazon, grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, you even pay using PayPal. So it's pretty cool. And they cashback match it. So after a year, you're talking about 10% return on spend, depending on what you're spending on. And so don't spend more than you need to naturally. And you have 1% unlimited everywhere else. And this is the 2 times cashback match. So here's some example quarters, and they're usually similar year to year. So for example, you have grocery stores, Walgreens, CVS, gas stations, Uber, Lyft, wholesale clubs. Quarter 3, restaurants, PayPal, and quarter 4 over here, Amazon, Walmart.com, Target.com. And finally, the cashback never expires. Redeem your cashback when it suits you best, anytime for any amount, even a penny. So that's pretty cool. And as you scroll down, there's some security you expect from Discover, which is basically pretty cool of added on kind of more customer experience, UI, user interface, UX, user experience type of things through the app, through the website, etc. And one of the coolest parts about Discover is that they have 25 card designs. So which one fits you? You get to choose your color of this card. So that's pretty neat. And let me scroll down over here. There's some FAQs as well. I'll leave the links. And there's an option over here. So the student cashback card, you get $20 statement credit each school year for your GPA of 3.0 or higher for up to the next 5 years. So that's an option as well. Back in the day, it used to be 6% for the rotating categories if you had to Discover It student cashback card. So to my knowledge, it's 5% at this time. But generally, if you're a student and you want to look into this product, it's pretty good. So looking at the application for the Discover It, here are 25 color designs. So just putting it out there again. Before we move on to the next card on the list, there's something known as a sign-up bonus with credit cards, which is essentially those offers, if you've seen them, of, hey, get X amount back when you spend this much in the next 3 months, for example. And so Discover It doesn't have a sign-up bonus, neither does a Discover It secured card. But in the end, Discover It has an amazing referral program where basically with the referral link, you would get $50 if you're approved, and the person referring you would get 50 as well. Without the referral link, neither party gets nothing. So if you're interested in applying, do check out the description below for my personal affiliate link, and supremely appreciate it if you use it. All right, next we got the Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card. So off the bat, like we mentioned, the sign-up bonus, you get $200 cash rewards when you spend $1,000 in the first 3 months. It doesn't say it on this page. That's just off the cuff, but I'm sure it will pop up somewhere as we go along. So 3% cashback in the category of your choice, 2% cashback at grocery stores and wholesale clubs, and 1% cashback on all purchases. So here we have the card details for the Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card. You got 3% cashback in the category of your choice, whether it's gas, online shopping, dining, travel, drugstores, home improvement, furnishings, and then you have 2% cashback at grocery stores and wholesale clubs, and 1% everywhere else. You'll earn 3% and 2% back on the first $2,500 in combined choice category / grocery store / wholesale club purchases each quarter, then 1% back. So if you look at the math, if you look at the Discover It card for 5% up to the first $1,500 in spend versus 3% on $2,500, that math is pretty much the same at $75 cash back. And so there's no annual fee, get even more rewards. So preferred rewards member earn 25 to 75%. It's a great concept. You do need to have some money invested with Merrill Edge rather, underneath the Bank of America umbrella. And I'll leave this out of this video, but just a heads up, that is an option. But surprisingly enough, if you have that much wealth to invest with them, yet no credit, or even choosing this card, that's pretty cool on its own. But then there are other options which I personally think are just better in general. So then looking at this, we got the low introductory APR offer. So it's 0% for 12 billing cycles for purchases. So for purchases specifically, and that 12 billing cycles versus the 14 months for Discover It, it's just that much different of 2 months. It just depends on personal preference of what card you want and for what reason. And finally, $200 online cash rewards bonus offer. So $200, at least 1,000 in purchases in the first 90 days. So essentially 20% return on spend on that first $1,000. And here we are, the interest rates and fee summaries. So depending on your credit, you have 13.99 to 23.99, and that is variable, and it all goes back to depending on your credit and what Bank of America wants to issue as your credit line / APR in general. So finally on this list, we got the Platinum MasterCard from Capital One. Looking at it over here, you got an annual fee of $0, and you have a purchase rate of 26.99% variable APR. So as we scroll down, we got automatic credit line reviews, credit-wise, fraud coverage, tap to pay. And this is the point I want to highlight, automatic credit line reviews. So be automatically considered for a higher credit line in as little as 6 months. So what it's saying is, based on your income, usually what happens is that whether you're earning $100,000 or $1 million, if you have no credit and you apply, let's say to Capital One or Discover, etc., usually, and I've seen this for a fact, is that they'll give you a credit line of, let's say, literally $500, even if your income is through the roof. And this is mainly just because you haven't really proven yourself from a credit standpoint. So are you credit worthy? That's a good question. And that's where there's no history to tell them to inform their better decision of giving you more in terms of a line of credit. And so after 6 months, they'll basically consider how much more they can give you based on whether you asking, or they automatically just give you more based on how much you're spending, and naturally good standing, pay your bill on time, etc. And finally, you have the APR again of 26.99. So just in general, APR for cash advances. So a cash advance is essentially taking cash out of your credit line. So imagine if you can put your credit card in an ATM, you can take out cash. This is 100% never recommended by anyone who knows about credit, and the interest rate charge really isn't worth it. Yes, emergencies happen, and that's a very exception case, but that's a supreme exception case, because in the end, these cash advances that you're taking cash from lines of credit actually affects your score when someone is actually looking at it, when they dig into your credit more carefully, and that could really affect you in the long term, even if it's just one time. So those are the three cards. You got your Discover It secured card, Discover It unsecured card. I batched them kind of like the same card depending on the individual. And then you have the Better Cash Rewards by Bank of America and the Capital One Platinum. So which one is my favorite? My favorite is Discover It unsecured credit card, aka the Discover It cashback credit card. It's super cool. You can have two of them, so you can actually get that 5% and actually get that cashback match in year one up to 10%. And then in year two, you could actually get one more. And then you can kind of see where you can keep applying and reapplying and kind of always have that 10% in cash back. Just depends on the strategy. But in the beginning, I would definitely say that that card, the unsecured credit card, is definitely an option to be approved upon, where you don't need to go the secured route. But naturally, if you get denied or otherwise, it's good to maybe call them and say, hey, can you approve me for a secured card instead? Is that okay? Because your credit would have already taken a hit, so you might as well come out with something that's advantageous for you. The Better Cash Rewards, I personally do not have it. I've seen everyone around me have it, so I can't speak much on it. But in terms of approval, to my understanding, it does help if you have a Bank of America checking account / relationship with them, which makes their decision that much easier. So you, as a lifetime customer, they would have more revenue from you and that kind of angle from their side, which incentivizes them to give you that line of credit. And finally, the Capital One Platinum, I'll be very honest, I don't think it's a great card. You got no rewards. There's no real benefit. I think the only benefit is, yes, if you need to build up your credit again, there's no annual fee, so that's a good thing. You shouldn't be paying an annual fee to build up your credit in general. So companies like Credit One or all of these other type of smaller companies that try to say, hey, you know, these are some credit builder products and there's an annual fee of $99 and increase your score by 100, 200 points fast. There's a lot of business out there on these type of products, but I wouldn't recommend going for them or even being sucked into that. Yes, if your credit isn't bad, then I'll make another video about best credit cards to get maybe with, bad credit. Overall, I would say that favorite card, Discover It Cashback. Worst card on this list, Capital One Platinum, 100%. Probably most logical and reasonable to get is the Bank of America Cash Rewards from a day-to-day. If you want to have a banking relationship or just want to have your debit and credit in the same place, aka your checking account and your credit card and potentially savings accounts, investments, etc., etc. So overall, if you've come this far, I supremely appreciate it. Thank you so much. And hopefully, happy applying. Good luck. Any questions, do drop them in the comments below. Feel free to DM me on Instagram if you want to have more of a back-to-back, quicker interaction, communication, etc., etc. But with that, again, thank you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, good luck.